Hello and welcome to Wasted Plotential, where we discuss the wasted potential of our favourite plotlines. Part 4 of the NetherRealm DLC character series, we're almost there. I'll be taking the same approach I did with MKX for this one, multiple short stories about one character or a small group. Of course, you could simply adapt the narrative of the reveal trailers where each new set of characters comes in to beat up the others, but let's be a little more creative. First we have the Fighter Pack 1 story, which sees Red Hood and Starfire team up to get answers about the death of Dick Grayson after the events of the main story. They search the streets of Gotham to find Damian, encountering Scarecrow who douses the duo with a stronger fear toxin. Jason sees a vision of the Joker and Corey sees a vengeful Dick Grayson. After the fight, Crane reveals that Damian is hiding out in the abandoned Arkham Asylum with Victor. Jason may or may not kill Crane, at the very least he tries to. At the asylum, the two fights are obvious. Corey confronts Victor about him being part of the regime, saying his actions are a disgrace to Dick, Gar and Wally's memory, while he insists that if Joker had died sooner, the dead Titans would all still be alive. After their fight, Corey reveals that Superman trapped the surviving Titans in the Phantom Zone for 5 years, which shakes Victor's resolve in following Superman, as set up for his redemption in the third game. Jason confronts Damian over killing his brother. Damian insists it was an accident. Jason basically disowns Damian. Damian says he's heard it all before. After the fight, Jason goes to kill Damian, but Corey stops him, insisting that Damian should be allowed to repent for his crime, but Jason isn't having it. The player then chooses who to play as in their scuffle. If Jason wins, he kills Damian and declares his intent to make the rest of Superman's allies pay as well, because only the guilty should ever be harmed. If Corey wins, she offers Damian and Victor a chance to make up for what they've done in a new Titans team. Pack 2 features a short Black Manta story where Hyde attempts to take control of Atlantis with help from half the remains of the Society, which have joined whatever faction Manta is now part of, as set up for a big reveal in Injustice 3. It's Maxwell Lord or someone like that pulling the strings. In Atlantis, Atrocitus is arranging an alliance with Arthur just to give him a bit more presence in the story. Arthur agrees to the terms if the Red Lanterns can eliminate the intruders. Atrocitus goes down and flees through a portal, leaving the two nemesis to square off. Hyde wins and Arthur is deposed, but manages to escape with help from either Atrocitus or Wonder Woman, leaving Black Manta as the new ruler of Atlantis. At least until the sequel. Pack 3 centers on Atom and Enchantress. Ryan is brought on by Bruce to help study Brainiac's tech. While doing so, he discovers Enchantress frozen aboard the ship for unknown reasons. He thaws her out and she fights him. She blasts him back and flees in a confused daze before he can get any answers out of her. Ryan heads back to Earth to find her. She finds herself at Joker's amusement park where she's ambushed by the Suicide Squad. Ryan arrives in time to back her up, facing off with Deadshot while she fights Thorn. After the fight, the Enchantress persona goes berserk and attacks Ryan, who brought some kind of magic tech to help even the odds and revert her to June Moon. June explains that Brainiac was studying Enchantress and a few other magic-based heroes and villains as part of his next goal after taking Earth, taking Apocalypse. This would set the stage for Darkseid to be part of the next game's plot. Speaking of Darkseid, his story is a prequel about a clash between him and the League prior to the first game. He fights his way through Flash, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman and Batman before Superman defeats him and sends him back to Apocalypse, vowing revenge. Now for the guests. Like with Scorpion in the Injustice 1 video, Raiden and SubZero star in chapters that attempt to retell their roles in MK vs DCU. SubZero has exactly 4 fights we can recreate, and one of those is only because we have a second MK guest. We begin, actually, with a fight that was not seen in the story. Diana arrives at the Fortress of Solitude where SubZero has already beaten and frozen Superman. So this game pits SubZero against Superman and then Wonder Woman at the Fortress. Next we move to SubZero's own chapter. He fights Raiden at the Rock of Eternity, which has merged with Raiden's Sky Temple. Then he fights Batman in the Batcave. Raiden's chapter opens with his saving of Liu Kang by defeating Batman. Without a Watchtower stage in this game, we'll use Brainiac's ship or the Batcave. Then we have that fight from SubZero's chapter, now from the other perspective. I would have had that fight only be used as part of one of these chapters, but SubZero's picture mode fight in the final chapter is a rematch with Batman, so this is definitely preferable. Then Raiden clashes with Superman in Dark Khan's throne room. Without an Apocalypse stage, we'll have the fight take place in either Kahndaq or Brainiac's throne room. After that, we fight Darkseid as a stand-in for Dark Khan. It'll be interesting to see what fights we can recreate with Injustice 3's guest. I predict that Liu Kang will be the guest there. Next, we have Hellboy. I know very little about Hellboy, so he can just fight a bunch of monsters. And finally, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Since there are 4 turtles, we play as each of them for one fight. The turtles arrive in Gotham, similar to the existing Batman/TMNT crossover. Leo spars with Batman in the Batcave. Raph goes out looking for crime to fight and encounters fellow rogue Damian. Donnie uses his tech expertise to find the Earth 3 Joker who was accidentally brought to the Regime universe with Ollie and Dinah. And finally, Mikey hangs out with Harley or something. And that's it for Injustice 2. Any MK11 one of these is a long way off, so I'm planning another to come sooner than that, centering on the premier skins from this game. That should be a fun one. And yes, of course I fucking know about the animated movie. If you liked this video, why not subscribe and support me on Patreon like these fine people here? If not, then make sure to share it with your enemies so they can suffer along with you. Today's recommended video is Death of a Game Infinite Crisis DC by Nerdslayer Studios. It talks about the lifespan of Infinite Crisis and what led to its demise.